key word for tonight. You have to come. It's called a turning point because things are going in a certain direction in your life, in your business, in your finances, and you don't want it to continue to go through that direction. There must be, therefore, a turning point. Things are happening in your marriage, in your relationship, the way that you don't like it, you and your spouse don't like it, and you want to change it. It starts with a turning point. So everyone, please type in the chat, turning point. This is going to be very interactive. I do not like a boring room, and it's not a seminar. I'm a coach, and that's my preferred format. And the way I coach is I want to continue to see feedback. Those of you watching on YouTube and then on Facebook, you do the same thing. So when I say type in the comment section, please do, all right? So let it be very interactive. So turning point is the beginning of transformation. You can put that in the comment section. Turning point is the beginning of transformation. The prodigal son had to come to a turning point. If he hadn't come to that turning point, there would have been no transformation. The reason your business is not transformed, the reason your income is not transformed is because you've not recognized turning points. You've not recognized turning points, and you have not engineered the turning point, for yourself. Yes, Irene said turning point is the beginning of every transformation. So let's start by trying to create that sense of turning point tonight. So the question I want every one of you to answer in the chat is, what have you tried with respect to your financial success? What have you tried that did not work? Everyone, type in the chat section. And those of you on Facebook, type in the chat section, in the comment section as well. And then on YouTube, what have you tried before with regard to your financial success that didn't work? Okay, what have you tried that didn't work? Put it in the chat, everyone. Okay, I know there's some kind of lag between hearing me and then you're putting it in the chat. So, but go ahead, let's interact on that. What have you tried before with regard to turning around your finances, but it didn't work? Okay, Huawei says retail pharmacy. Put your name there so that we can know, we can call you by name and not by your Huawei phone. David says he's tried Forex trading. Okay, what else have you tried? Yeah, Forex trading seems to be like a really popular one in our part of the world. And then again, sports betting, a lot of people have tried that, multi-level marketing and all that. And these things did not work. Okay, cryptocurrency, multi-level marketing, you've tried them and they didn't work. All right, my second question is, in your own analysis, why didn't it work? Type very quickly because we have a lot to unpack tonight. In your thinking, because you see, a prudent man, we are told, sits back to examine what he did and then ask what worked, what didn't work. Because if you don't find out exactly why it didn't work, then the chances that you're going to repeat exactly the same mistake are very high, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So in your own analysis, why didn't the cryptocurrency work? Why didn't the Forex work? Why didn't the multi-level marketing work? Why didn't the retail pharmacy work? From the way you understand it, and then looking back, why didn't it work? Yeah, so apparently a couple of people did the crypto. So why didn't it work? Okay, because Maya says purchasing of over bloated shares that dropped in price. Okay, all right. So because you tried investment in shares and it didn't work. Okay. Now something, why you type why it didn't work. The other thing I want you to consider, which is what's going to launch us into the next part of the presentation. Engineer Frank says, I bought at a relatively high rate and the market bled, okay? So let me also see. Arinze said, for me, I've tried registering an oil servicing company and providing services, but the Nigerian factor is my limitation, but I think I haven't gotten the requisite certification to carry out such services. All right, so I want you to consider that for everything, okay, let me just even ask it as a question. Do you know of anyone at all? Anyone at all? Just be honest. Do you know of anyone at all who succeeded doing the same thing? Succeeded in retail pharmacy, succeeded in oil servicing business, succeeded in cryptocurrency? Yes or no? Were there people who succeeded? Yes. Yes. There are people doing it and still succeeding. So it cannot be because of that particular trade or industry. There must be something missing. And then you may be very familiar with one of my viral videos where I talked about the 3 root causes of every financial problem. So whether it is for a business or for individual, the very first one, the number one there is you're not earning enough money. Okay, because if you don't earn enough money, you can't meet your obligations, you won't pay your bills, so you'll be stressed, and then there will always be anxiety every month because it is not enough. Think about it. Your family expenses, by the time you put together school fees, put together house rent and everything, is already hitting like 5 or 6 million. But you're earning 100,000 naira a month. So that is already a huge financial problem. That's a setup for frustration. And I don't know why people do not think about these things in very simple terms. It's not complicated. You are earning 1.2 million, but your obligation is 5 million. That is struggle. That is serious struggle. That is why we are holding this thing, and that is why we are also running the financial fitness intelligence, which is starting from next tomorrow. Because a lot of people don't take time to actually educate themselves, assimilate the insight and the knowledge that will allow them to succeed in whatever they are doing. Because somebody is succeeding in the stock market, like me, for instance, but you are not succeeding. So why? There is a reason. Someone is succeeding in the retail pharmacy. There is a reason why. So the problem is not the retail pharmacy business. Something has to point the finger toward you. Okay, so I want you to bear that in mind. So you can see in the chat section different things that people have done that did not work. Okay, so my goal in this webinar is to show you how to increase your income, because there are 3 root causes of financial problems, all financial problems. Number 1 is not enough income. Number 2 is lack of financial literacy, because I can tell you every investment that you have lost, underneath it is lack of financial literacy. Same thing with your business. Your profitability, your revenue, your growth is limited by your own knowledge. You can't operate better or bigger than what you know, than what is in your consciousness. And then the third one, of course, is what I called soul poverty, because a lot of people do not connect their spirituality with their financial struggle. But like Nigerians will say, your financial struggle and your spirituality are like 5 and 6. So if you have a dead conscience, if you have offended people, or people have offended you and you're holding bitterness in your heart, it affects you because it is you. So it affects everything. It corrupts the frequencies around you that could actually help you get wealthy. Like I'm going to explain to you in a moment, because there are two systems at operation in the world. And then my task tonight is to move you from one system to the other one. If I do that, you'll be amazed what will happen. So soul poverty is a problem for many people. They do not know why they are not prospering. And then one ancient writer, spiritual writer, said, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So this was written about 2,000 years ago. So the ancient people knew things that we don't know. If your soul is not prospering, you're not prospering. So that's why you don't envy the politicians, um, who are robbing the country dry. So the same people who say that there's no money, they are acquiring a company at almost $800 million. Where are they getting that kind of money? And Nigerians can't even feed themselves. Don't envy them. You have no idea how they sleep at night. You have no idea. So because if your soul is not prospering, if you're the kind of person you borrow money from your friend, you say, oh, I'll return it in 2 weeks. And then it's now 3 years. You don't even call, you don't even care, and then you're still going around borrowing money. That is terrible. How will you become financially free? It's not possible. It's not possible. So, but many people don't connect these things, but it matters a lot. Okay, so that's my goal tonight. And I will encourage you to stick to the end, because if you do, I'm going to give access. And then if you don't stay to the end, please don't come back to say you didn't get the discount code to be able to download this book. I'm going to give it to you for free. It is 10,000 Naira, and it has everything, as in everything you need, and then questions answered for you to be able to succeed in the Nigerian stock market. That's where a lot of money is being made, but people's eyes are blinded by the too many shiny objects in town, the crypto, the forex, or all kinds of investment, real estate and all that. And they do not know that the wealthiest men in this country are playing in the stock market. And there's a thing you can learn about the wealthy people. Go where they are. You go where they are. Jimovia last year made 15 billion Naira from dividends, stock market. Dangote, Otedola was about 19 billion. I don't remember Dangote's number, something about 100 and something billion. And then the BUA cement guy, BUA group of companies guy made about 260 billion from the stock market. And then you're not playing there. You're missing a lot. Anyway, so if you stick to the end, I'll tell you how to get it. And then, by the way, just indicate if you already enrolled in the Financial Fitness Challenge. So let me just get an idea about the people in the room, because there's a lot that we'll start doing from tomorrow morning. I'm going to drop something in the group. So if you're already enrolled in the Financial Fitness Challenge, please, could you indicate in the chat? Just say yes. Just say yes. Let me know out of the people here, how many people have enrolled. Type yes if you have enrolled in the Financial Fitness Challenge. I think I see 1 or 2 people here, so that I will know who is there. Okay. So, all right. So there's a yes. Okay. And Arinze said you don't know how. Okay. You're going to learn how by the end of this. Because if anybody misses this, it's starting on Tuesday. We've been talking about it for a couple of months. It's starting Tuesday, from Tuesday to Saturday. And it's going to be about this same time of intense money acceleration, okay? Intense money income acceleration for your business and also for your personal life. So like this exercise I'm going to talk about right now, we're going to do it. We're going to do it tomorrow morning before the challenge starts on Tuesday. And then if you are not there, you can, because a lot of people are busy answering the wrong questions, trying to, you can't. Somebody said that your goal for being here is to learn how to make money legally and in a very smart way. And I like the way you captured it, because a lot of people, especially Africans, we have no idea about how money works. We just think it's every shiny object somebody comes and throws in on Facebook, social media, you follow. Oh, real estate, investment, you put in this is the best place to put your money. Or somebody tells you, oh, okay, agricultural, something, investment. So put your money there every time we harvest beans. And people are losing billions every single day because of the ignorance of simple things that I am sharing with you. So I'm in my 50s and I've seen all these little things that people do, you do in your 20s and 30s, and it's not working for you. The financial fitness challenge is where all these things will happen. In fact, I brought, someone says he wants to learn how to make money from home. So on one of the days, we're bringing an expert in remote work who earns money in dollars. She is based in Uganda. She has agreed to come and tell people how she does it. She not only does remote jobs, but she helps people. She has contacts to connect them to where you can stay where you are and earn dollars. Because to be honest with you, if you're anywhere in Africa listening to this and you're not earning money in hard currency, I'm telling you, life is already hard for you, but it's going to be much harder for you. Okay. So one of the first things that we're going to do during the financial fitness challenge starting tomorrow is, where do your money fears come from? Guys, we live in a fear-based system. The world is a fear-based system. And until you conquer the fear-based system and then translate yourself from the fear-based system to the opposite, which is a love-based system, you will never know financial peace, because the world is designed like a matrix to keep you poor. Many of you know, don't you see, for instance, how extremely difficult it is for those of you who are Nigerians in the car? Don't you see how extremely difficult it is to earn money? It's the system. Yet the people who are controlling the system have access to the money that 98% of us should. Just a few people. You can count them. They're probably under 500 individuals. One president and his vice, 108 senators, a couple of House of Rep people, local government chairman. This is system. And all this money is circulating in those hands, and you are not part of it. So you see, it's very difficult to generate cash. And then you have to understand these things from a very, very foundational principle, from a very, to have like a helicopter view, the wisdom of what is actually going on. Otherwise, you just find yourself tactically moving around every day and not understanding why you are not doing well. Now, the biggest problem to financial freedom is fear. As you will learn later, I've taught in Stanford University through the Stanford Seed program. I teach in Lagos Business School. I teach in the China Europe International Business School. So I have worked with hundreds of businesses across different countries in the world. And I can't, so you see, but our people don't like hearing truth. They want something that will excite them, and they want entertainment and comedy skits and things like that. But you see, coming out of financial instability or financial lack is a serious business. It's not something you can laugh at all the comedy skits, Brain Jotter, Sabinos, Emanuela. People spend data on nothing wrong with those things. But what's your business with all those things when you're a poor person? What are you laughing about? What is funny about being poor? What is funny about not having money to eat good food? What's funny about not having money to train yourself? What's funny about not having money to acquire assets? But when I tell you people that, and I've told you people, television is your enemy. I've only had one television, bought in 1999, which we used for like just 1 or 2 years. I don't even know where it is right now. And then by the time I went to television, on 2009, we had to go find it from where it was hiding because we had moved houses and moved it. Nobody was using it. So we just brought it. And it's that one that has tube. That's that old TV that comes like a tube. So that's what I do not know where it is as I'm talking to you. We don't have that. And I raise my children without television, thankfully. And they don't miss anything. You only have rights to watch television after you have become financially free. But if you're still like this, and people will say, how will I know what is going on? Now you know everything going on. What is it doing for you? You know everything that's going on. What you're listening to Arise TV. Okay, you know that senator did this. You know this Nollywood act. You know that there's an accident that happened in Ijebuode. What in the world is that doing for you? Look, please, if I'm crazy, type it in the chat that you're crazy. But if you think I'm making sense, type make sense there because I don't understand our people. I don't understand our people. And then you tell them, these things, they come to the social media and abuse you because you are not telling them what they want to hear. So the first problem to conquer is the fear. Because if your mind is in prison, you have no business with financial freedom. It can't happen. It cannot happen. So the first thing during the financial fitness challenge that we're going to deal with is fear. It's also identity, because a lot of people are asking the wrong question. They're asking, what should I do to become rich? That is the wrong question. That question will never make you rich. What should I do? A lot of people come, what should I invest in? What should I do? What business should I do? What investment should I use my 2 million naira to? Wrong question. And if you notice, only poor people ask this question. People who ask such questions, and then many times that question, they lose all that money. Because that's a wrong question. The first question is a being, but you are asking doing question. And we are human beings, not human doings. So you have to be to do. It is your being that should inform what you are doing. But a lot of people they don't never sit down to think about where's my fear coming from? Who do I have to become? Which is why we keep talking about personal development. Do you know how many books I read? If I show you my library here, and every time I travel to the United States, as soon as if I land in the United States today, by the next day, after sleeping, I'm off looking for used books, used bookstores. Many of those used bookstores in America, different places I go, Houston, California, New York, Colorado, they know me. Because once I land the city, first thing I check the internet, used bookstores. Because the moment you stop learning, you start dying. And there's no way you can make money. If you don't develop this thing you're carrying, it's impossible. Type it in the comment because I really like you to own it. It's impossible to become financially free without developing your mind, without freeing it, first of all, and then secondly, developing it. Okay. So now, what even complicates it is that the world operates in a fear and rejection-based system. This world is fear-based, but that's not the way God made it. God created a love-based world, but this is a fear and rejection-based system that we are running. And if you are not aware of it, and if you don't know how to handle it, you will struggle all your life. Don't you see people dying every day in their 50s, 60s, 70s, still struggling financially? Type yes. Type yes. If you see them, if people are dying every day, how many of those people who are dying happy and fulfilled? How many people who died yesterday, who died today? Because for all this time we have been speaking, people have been dying, like 3 people every minute or something. How many of them died financially free? And what makes you think that if you're doing exactly what they did, living the way they did, what makes you think that your own end will be different? You see why I said, because wealth is not about money. Everywhere I have gone, all the coaching I have received about my financial success has very little to do with money, but it has like 99% everything to do with your mind, because the wealth is here. So you have to free yourself from the fear-based system, because that's where you start making money and become contented. I do not have money. I'm not lying. I wouldn't consider, by the standards, of Nigerians and standards you see on social media, I am not rich. Many of you have heard me say that before, because you don't see me, you've not seen me spraying money and dollars everywhere, because I don't have it. But guys, I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I don't have money, because wealth is not just cash. There are different forms of wealth. One of them is relationship wealth. So I may not have money, but how many of you, if you get into a serious situation right now, and then with one phone call, I don't have 24 million naira anywhere, but I do have phone numbers. That one person I will call, and then I get 24 million. Is that not wealth? And this is why our Igbo ancestors, say that onyenwe mmadụ ka onyenwe ego, meaning the person who has relationships, who is wealthy in relationships, is richer than the person who is only wealthy in cash. You can type that in the comment section if that touched you. So the world operates, everything is fear. Education is fear. Or if you don't pass exams, what happens? You will fail. And if you fail, or you will not get a job. And then the society operates on scarcity-based economics. So you have all these, okay, if you have BSc and you have this, you will earn this kind of money. But if you are sweeping the floor and taking care of toilets, you will earn this. There's all that, okay? Political government fear. Just a few years ago, they were threatening us if you don't take their vaccination against your will. It's a fear thing. Oh, this pandemic, everybody is going to die. 2/3 of the population of the world will be killed. Oh, fear, 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 fear. Oh, this disease, today they tell you Omega strain has come. The next day they tell you Lambda. Yeah, fear, because it's fear-based. And they use it to make money out of your fears. Fear of the other. That's a Fulani man. They are very violent. This is a Muslim. This is a Muslim. This is a Christian. Oh, this is a Yoruba man. This is Igbo man. Fear. And all those things are totally useless. But you see, do you see these things? How many people are caught up in all these things? Do you know how many millions of Nigerians are caught up in this Fulani Igbo Yoruba conversation? How in the world will you become financially free? But you look at all the wealthy people, you never hear them. You've never heard them go to one day, stand on television and say Fulani versus Igbo. You've never heard them come out. All these billionaires, some of them are associated with, and they have their investments all over the place. They marry from different places. You've never heard Atiku come out and say, he's actually married to an Igbo man. Do you understand what I'm saying? But this is a fear-based system. That is a normal. Then you see, when you come to your own personal fears, the fear of failure. Many of you here are driven by fear. The fear that you will not make it. The fear that you will die poor. Fear of the unknown. I don't know what 2025 is going to look like. Oh, this Tinubu government and things like that. Fear of death. Fear of losing your social status. And fear of falling sick. It's a fear-based system. So if you don't conquer that, don't even start talking about making money. Okay, let me make a few more comments and then we move from here. So wealth is ruled. Listen, you can type this, put it, that's my quote. Wealth is ruled by law, not by feelings. It's not ruled by the way you feel. So if you like, protest from today to tomorrow. I'm not saying that there's justice. The world is not justice-based. The world is fear-based. And I'm telling you, this part of the reason I wrote in my journal, okay? Now, okay, I'm doing something next Sunday, a really special coaching session on Sunday, 8 p.m. And it is focused on people who are yet to be 40 years old. So the title of the session is 40 Things You Should Achieve Before Your 40th Birthday. One of them is to achieve this kind of defense around yourself and your family such that they will not take advantage of you or your family. Because the world is not just. It's not just. If they can take advantage of you, they will do it. If somebody who is more powerful, more connected than you, more whatever, politically connected, if they can harm you, if they can seize your mother's land, they will do it. They are doing it every day. So, but wealth is not ruled by law. It's ruled by law, not by feelings, not the way you feel. Tinubu is so whatever. Nothing is going to change. You can complain all you want about these people, but it's not your feelings. You've got to engage, with the alternative system to the fear and injustice and rejection-based system, okay? And then we're going to talk about that more for those of you in the financial fitness challenge from tomorrow. And then I'll take you through an exercise to go from the fear and rejection-based system to the love-based system, and I'll explain what that is. Who am I? All right, my name is Ogbo, Awoke Ogbo, like I believe all of you here already know. Worked in Shell and Chevron, excellent career. Have helped over 200 companies right now, actually, across 15 countries. Greatest privilege was working with Stanford Seed as Stanford Business Advisor. Just being in the same room with Stanford University Graduate School of Business professors, some of the most brilliant minds in the world, some of the brilliant minds behind many of the Silicon Valley concepts, and then consulting for governments and then for companies and all that. So that was really a privilege, I'm passionate about financial fitness because I learned the hard way that university degree do not guarantee financial success. It's much more than that. So my story, I was an employee with Chevron, and I dreamt of meeting my family's needs, helping my parents because they really paid a lot of sacrifice, made a lot of sacrifice to take me and my siblings through school, to help poor Africans. I wanted to also travel the world with my family. And, but there was a problem. Two things were missing. Two things were threatening, and indeed threatened that goal, that vision, that dream. Number one, I didn't have financial literacy at all. All I knew was be a great student, and I really was. So if you know anyone who graduated from Federal Government College Okigwe in 1984, just mention my name to any of them. They will tell you. University of Port Harcourt, then my postgraduate study in the University of Ibadan, and then of course a couple of courses and certificate programs in the United States. So that was all I knew. I didn't know financial literacy. I thought that once you had it academically and then you were top of the class and you graduate with a good degree and get a good job, that was it. So I was working in Chevron. But I lacked financial literacy. And I also lacked a system for managing my income. I was making life, as you can imagine, miserable for my wife and children. it was not fun. But then something very fortuitous and strange at the same time happened. Remember, I talked about turning point. So this was my turning point. And every individual needs to know what their turning point is, okay? So my wife had had enough. So one day she woke me up at 2 a.m. and said, sweetheart, do you know that if we had an emergency right now, we don't have 1,000 naira anywhere safe that we could? That was horrible. If it were you, how would you feel? That was terrible. You know, you were earning one of the top 0.1% earners in the country, but your wife is looking for money to fuel her car, and then I don't have it. Anyway, so at this time, I had a stroke of luck. So I met this Nigerian billionaire who took interest in mentoring me. Very, very gracious and generous with his time. And so he shared some money secrets that aroused my interest in financial literacy. And then two things stood out from my interaction with him, that the secret to never lack money, and this is really the core of this webinar. Remember, we're talking about how to never run out of money again for the rest of your life. The secret is to follow a cash flow consistency plan. Everybody type in the comment section, cash flow consistency plan. That's what he taught me. And then I also learned that I could literally print my own money if I mastered marketing and selling. I could literally print my own money. So those were high valued skills. And then years after that meeting and then practicing, putting a system in place, I can now sleep peacefully with my beautiful wife without worrying that she'll wake me up in the middle of the night to say, sweetheart, if we have problem now, we don't have 1,000 naira, because we do. Okay, now that system did not only and does not only work for me, it also works for other people who I have shared it with. So this was a testimonial from the people in the previous cohort of the Financial Freedom, Financial Fitness Challenge. So this gentleman, because we discussed emergency funds after the Financial Fitness Challenge, he had the inspiration and the guidance to set up 3 years of emergency funds. That is incredible. So an emergency fund is part of the system, the cash flow, consistent cash flow system. Your cash flow can be consistent if you don't have emergency fund. This other individual, a woman, expanded her shop to a supermarket using the things that we learned, this same system I'm telling you about, the consistent cash flow system. So there are 3 things we'll quickly cover tonight, and then I will give you, make you an offer. So the first is that there's no scarcity of money for anyone who can sell. Anyone who can sell, there's no scarcity of money. Number 2, financial stability is not for the rich people, but it's for the wise. And number 3, how do you control unpredictable expenses? So let's go for the first one. There's no scarcity of money for anyone who can sell. None. Okay, but some people might say, oh, money is naturally scarce. Money is hard to get. But let me tell you a quick story, okay? After I quit Shell, I started my coaching consulting business, and sales were not coming. So sales were not coming. Sometimes I would only do 1 major or 2 major projects in the year, and that was affecting my cash flow badly, because before that project comes, bills have already mounted, and as soon as the client paid me, it all went straight into backlog of bills. So I had nothing to build my business on. Has anybody been in that situation? Type yes in the chat if you have been. But I discovered that while I was struggling to make consistent sales, that people who were less qualified from me were making incredible money. I knew one of them who was based in Ikeja invited me a couple of times. So when I listened to this guy, far less qualified, you know, based on my career experience And then the certifications I had in the United States in coaching, and then in MBTI, in NLP, in cognitive behavioral therapy, I was excellent at what I was doing, but I wasn't making money. Now, I now discovered that the difference was these people were better at marketing and selling, while I was better at coaching. Okay, so, and that's a very, very important thing. So I now switched. I started spending more time marketing and selling than coaching, because I could always coach. You could wake me up. I could coach you, help you, to break your limits in your small business asleep. I can do it asleep. But the problem is, if I don't get the clients, then so whether I'm awake or I'm asleep, I can do it and I won't have money. So I created some programs which indeed exploded sales and then helped my cash flow. So you might also be thinking, but it's normal to struggle with money. It's not normal to struggle with money. It's not. That struggle is part of the fear-based system that I was talking about. If you are in the love-based system, which is the abundance mindset-based system, you can never say that. It shouldn't even come out of your mouth, because there's no financial problem under heaven that you cannot sell something to solve. So the question becomes your selling skills and marketing skills, not your financial problem. Now, it is so selling and marketing skills are important component of the consistent cash flow system. Remember, that's what we're talking about today. So is an important component, major component, because nothing happens in your life until you sell something. Okay, even if it's your skills, in the job. Secret number 2, some people say financial stability is only for the rich. Only rich people with fast salary can be financially stable. Well, you might think so, but let me also tell you a story, the background. After I left Shell and lost everything, a young man kept on. It was in the lowest low that I was in financially. But this gentleman kept coming and trying to sell a property to me. And I said to him, you know my story, you know my situation, I don't have anything now. I can't even fuel my car to come see the property. And then this guy said something he's forgotten. I'm not even sure he remembers, but it was so impactful that I put it in my second book. He said, sir, owning a house is not for the rich. It's for the wise. Powerful. Type powerful in the comment section. I just want to see some interaction. Are you getting value? Type in the chat section. Are you getting value? Yeah, and I can see yes in the chat. Yeah, type it. I need some interaction. Okay, are you getting value in what we are doing? Yeah, powerful. Okay, so from that moment on, I switched my mentality to ownership mentality, because he said, now, because in the ownership mentality, you only need wisdom. You don't need the cash. So today, I can tell you, I own everything I use. I own banks, I own telecommunications businesses, I own food production and processing businesses, I own all these things. And then you say, oh, well, how do you own all these businesses? Through the stock market. The dividend I get from the telecommunications companies covers all my phone calls and all my data in the year. The dividends I get from my banks, the banks I own, they pay several orders of magnitude above all the bank charges. You cry about, oh, Access Bank is charging me, GTB, they're charging me. As you're crying that they're charging you, I'm happy, because they're charging you and they're putting it into my account. That's what the ownership mentality. Do you see? So one of the mentalities to escape the fear-based system is to switch to the owner's mentality. Because if you're renting, then you are at the mercy of owners. But you become owner yourself. Even owning your house has solved like 80% of all your financial problems forever. Owning your own house. Okay. Some people might think, but I don't earn enough money to meet my basic needs. How much more to start investing? I hear that all the time. But the truth is, financial stability is not for those who earn too much money. I just told you I was earning so much money in Shell and Chevron, but I wasn't managing it wisely. So I was not better. I was not better than the people who didn't earn the kind of money I was earning in Chevron. You see, because every income that comes in to your pocket, no matter how small, a portion of it is seed, according to a prophet called Isaiah. He said that God gives bread, seed to the sower and bread to the eater. But what do many of us do? We eat the bread and then we eat the seed. Is that not foolishness at the same time? So you don't have anything. So the issue is not how much. The issue is the habit. If you get 100,000, can you get 100,000 and finish 100,000? Finish spending it and expect where is the wealth coming from? So at most, do 1,000. Put 1,000 aside. It is seed. Seed is usually small, one tiny. I did a research sometime and I found that 1 grain of corn produces an average of 2,600 to 3,000 grains. One. So don't neglect that little 5% you put aside. And then during the financial fitness challenge, I will tell you what to do, because what to do with it, that little money that you pulled aside, because it's the habit, is the hypnotic rhythm that you want to get into of not being the kind of person. Remember, we're talking about being, not doing. So you don't want to be the kind of person that squanders everything that comes in, because that's what the universe is watching. If you're that kind of person, it will punish you. So the secret to never running out of money, second secret, is to plant your seed, not to eat it. So, and don't wait for big money to start. You start with the small one you have in your hands.